So, what do we have here? This is the Moto 360 Sport Smartwatch. We've already unboxed this smartwatch for you yesterday. We've posted a video. You can check it out on our channel. But now I want to share with you my first impressions from the watch. And as a regular user of Moto 360 first generation, I can just quickly tell you what is my impression from the sport version of the watch. First of all, I have to say that I'm quite pleased to see that there was an update for this watch. So now it supports Marshmallow, Android Marshmallow. I can show you in the About section, in an About menu, that actually, yeah, you can see here, the watch is now running Android 1.4.0. and it supports Android 6.0.1. I'm running this version of Android on my Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. It's the beta version. We were part of the beta testing program in the UK. It's still not the official update, but that doesn't really matter because this watch also received the update the same as my Moto 360 first generation. First impression, you could probably tell it has an always on function. Once you don't use actively the screen automatically dims, and you can see you have an always on function. You can see the little Moto and the time here on the screen. Otherwise, everything else is black. And I think this feature is really handy. You don't need to move the watch, make any special gesture to be able to see the time. Usually, you'd use that most often, I would tell. From my personal experience, I want to know what is the time most often on my smartwatch. That might be surprising to somebody who is using all the other features, but I'm a bit of a more traditional person, and I want to know quickly what's the time. And this feature, always on, gives me that opportunity. This always on function is not available on my 360 first generation, so I'm happy to see that change here in the Sport watch. Otherwise, the default watch face of the Moto 360 Sport is really nice. You can see here you have heart rate activity. You always have information about the calories burned that day. You have here on the side like a little timer, that's the seconds counting. It loads up the little line there up to 60 seconds every minute, and you have your steps here. Everything is synchronized with Moto Body, the application, so you have information for your daily activity there, and you can open it on your smartphone. And it shows you stats and activity reports and this kind of stuff. You can also see there is a start button here on the screen. When I click on it, you get the functions that make this watch really different to all the other Moto watches. So actually, this watch, the sport version, has a GPS chip inside it. This means you can use it as a sports watch without having to have your smartphone with you. So you don't need to pair it to be able to use the GPS signal because it has a GPS chip in it. So, for example, you can click here on indoors, and if you're going to work out at home, you can set time, distance, calorie burn, or just quick start from here, and set go for your workout. So for example, I would like calorie burn. So let's say you wish to change that from the default is 250, and you can say I want to burn 350 calories. You have to click, and then you have this screen where you can start the actual workout. When you click on play, the watch vibrates, and then your time starts. Then you have to start moving around the house or wherever you are. You still see the time, but then you see the time that has elapsed, your distance, and your pace. If you're moving, I'm not moving at the moment, obviously. You can also see beats per minute. I'm not quite sure what kind of information is getting there, why it was 60 when it wasn't on my hand. Let's see. it's going to change. So beats per minute, not moving just now. Let's see if I remove that. It's going to change from 84. Yeah, it dropped. So by default, I think it's 60 or 62, or I don't know. It's taking it from somewhere, obviously. That's the little sensor there, taking your heartbeat. It's quite sensitive. You can see it dims as well, this sport function. It dims, the screen dims and it becomes black and white because it's still on, although you don't see all the colors. And you can swipe through these screens. You can end your workout if you think it's enough, or you can pause it. You can also double tap on any of those screens to pause it. It vibrates again the watch, so you know it's paused, and you can end it. Once you end a workout such as this one that I'm just testing here for you, you get a summary, this kind of a few seconds of saving and a summary of your workout. It's quite thorough. You can see zone time, average beats per minute, stuff like that, pace, average pace, overall time, and it's quite good, I think. You run, right, I have connected my watch with Strava, the running app as well, so everything is connected to Moto Body, and once those workouts are saved on Moto Body, in my case they're also going into Strava. So I think that's quite cool. I like the sports function, and I like the fact that you can choose between indoors and outdoors, and you can choose between different goals, and you can choose, for example, distance, and you can change in kilometers. You can go back by that, or you can do quick start just without any goal, which is quite cool. One thing I have to say about the smart function on this, sport function. I'm sorry for that confusion there. So about the sport function of the smartwatch, I think I can agree with most of the reviews I have already seen online for the watch, that actually this watch is not so much a sports watch than a running watch. So if you're doing other activities, if you are practicing other sports rather than just walking activities such as walking and running, you'll probably be a bit disappointed because it doesn't have functionality for swimming, for example. You can't really measure your lap times, although it's the watch is water resistant, such as the first generation of the Moto 360. So yeah, I would say it's a really okay. So it can't stand like, okay, it could stay like that. So it's not really a sports watch as such. It's a running watch, and the functionality is not like, it's not perfect, all the sports features here, but I think it's pretty cool, and I think it gives you something to work with. The 360 on its own, it's a great smartwatch, but this one works, I think, faster. And from my experience of using it every day, the first generation watch, I could definitely tell that this is a second generation of the phone. I can tell there's a difference. There's a little bit of higher quality of just the way the watch is made. You can see that on this watch, the button here is it's not on the actual in the middle or here on the side, actually a bit up, and it also has like a little bit of like a rubbery end, which makes it easier to click, I suppose. In my case, the band is black, but you can also get it in white and orange. I really fancy the orange one, but the black is also fine. I have to say, it's really well made. I'm pleased with the quality of it, and I am really pleased that this thing here, as you can see on the strap, it has a little rubber part here as well, which helps for this part when you want to put the band on your wrist, to lock basically the band in a position that this part actually stays in one place and it doesn't go like that, floppy on the side. So it's quite cool that it has it. I know that many of the silicone bands and straps have it, but also it could be a bit frustrating because it makes it harder to take off the watch. As far as I read online, different reviews of the watch, the battery life is not very impressive when you, all right, I've turned something on, when you use the sports functionality, when you use it for workouts and you have to use actively the GPS, which is inside the watch. But I still have to use it to be able to tell you this if that's a fact for sure. I have to say this watch has the same battery as the one I have, the first generation Moto 360, and it's 300 milliamps. So we'll see. I will make another video very soon where I will just make a comparison between both watches in terms of the speed of charging. I want to see how fast this one charges and basically compare it to the first generation and see if there is any difference, knowing that the battery is actually the same. So I hope this was useful for you guys and you saw what you were interested in when it comes to the watch. I have to say again that the watch runs the latest Android Wear, and it has all the new gestures, and it has the language, the new languages. It has application permission function. You have different date and time setting that you can set up differently from the date and time on your smartphone, and all the new features that the Android Wear now supports with the latest Marshmallow. If you want to see more information about Android Wear on my Moto 360, you can check out our other video on this same channel where I made a full in-depth overview of those features. They are present in that watch as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope you like this watch. So far I'm really pleased with it. I'll have to test it and wear it obviously for a longer period just to give my final verdict, but so far so good. I'm pleased from what I see, and I can definitely tell it's worth paying a little bit more for this watch than for the first generation 360 that we've got on offer for £150 a few months ago. So yeah, this is from this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you in our next video. Thanks, bye bye.